I mean, I don't either. So, I mean, on that note, like, you've talked about it on your podcast,
Hmm.
here we are. There's lots of Bravo people listening to this, like the Scandoval. Like, why? How are we here? I mean, I'm confused.
This story, I mean, let's be realistic though. This was the best thing that could happen to Vanderpump Rules. All right. I mean, the show was starting to kind of lose its steam. People weren't as interested. And I am not, in like true honesty, I'm not a huge Vanderpump Rules fan, but this even brought everyone in. Like everyone's like, I can't go a week without talking about Tom and Raquel. And I'm just like, I'm almost over it myself. But am I going to watch the reunion? Hell yeah, I'm going to watch this reunion. With not even liking the show that much, I will watch it. And I think that this, as sad as it is, will be the greatest gift to the Vanderpump community.
I think so. I mean, first of all, I cannot imagine. I mean, maybe it'll fall flat, but I feel like the numbers on this reunion have to be huge. They have to
Uh-huh.
be.
100%. I think everyone's going to be tuning in. They want to watch it go down. I think that Bravo was very smart by jumping on all of this as quickly as they did to get cameras in there, film them immediately after all this news broke. It's they did a good job in that manner, and I'm wondering how they're keeping kind of everyone quiet. Like I know that there's been certain pap videos of like Raquel out talking to the TMZ. Well, it wasn't even TMZ; it was backgrid cameras, just like Tom talked to backgrid cameras. But you're still wanting more of the story. Like they didn't give away too much that you wouldn't tune in.
Yeah. But like this whole group is so incestuous. Like, why? I don't get it. I mean, I know it was 9 years and she's like really good. I don't see why this is such a story that, like, I don't know if it was David Spade. It was some comedian, I think, where they were like, what's your goal of the night? It was some red carpet. It had nothing to do with this. And he was like, my goal of the night is to find out more about the scandal. I'm like, what? Like, how
Well,
is this?
that's just smart. That's smart marketing on, Spade's parties. Like, because if I talk about that, it ties me into pop culture news. Like, David's always been really good about throwing that kind of stuff out there. But I don't know, man. This one, I think it's just people love these cheating stories more than anything. And I think Vanderpump, obviously, the whole situation was the perfect build. Like working in restaurants, working in LA, having a bunch of sexy people on TV at the same, like this was the perfect combination. You knew that this was going to happen at some point, some day down the road.
And people love to hate. I think that's where we are. Like it's hate watching. And people
Hmm.
hate watch the reality shows, I would think.
Well, I mean, that's why Paris Hilton and Kim are the two of the most famous people on earth. People love to hate.
What do you think of, and when did you meet Kim? You met Kim. I mean, I'm sure you met her many times, but
Mhm.
like, because I mean, I've heard, yes, I've heard nothing but great things about all of the Kardashians. They work, they get up and they go to work, like, no pun intended for Kim's like viral video. But even so, like, I heard that like Kim, if you get her on a carpet, you have 3 minutes, she gives you what you need within like
Mhm.
45 seconds. Like, she gets it. She understands how to talk in sound bites, what you need. I'm going to make your job easy because me making your job easy. I'm going to be able to move on for the night. Everyone's going to get what they want, and we're all just going to move on in the day.
I don't think people give her as much credit as she deserves for, and I can just see your listeners cringing right now, but it's 100% true. She knows how to work this industry better than anyone else. And that's the pure fact of it. To stay relevant for as long as they have is near damn impossible, but they have. And to keep a reality show on TV this long is crazy as well. But I think Kim has this knowledge, and I don't know if it just comes naturally to her, but like you said, she knows what to give the soundbite. She knows what to tease out. They have some big news story happen in their family. They leak out a certain piece of it. The media picks it up. It goes crazy. But then when the reality show comes out and you see their reaction, it like refuels that fire. That's a hard recipe to come up with, and they've done it. And a lot of it's Kim. Everyone I know likes to give Chris a lot of the credit, but it's Kim was the mastermind behind it all. Chris came in and backed her up when Kim, couldn't manage the whole family at a certain point. But we actually have a really fascinating interview coming out this week, and it's with the former owner or the former CEO of Splash News. Do you remember Splash News?
Yeah.
It was a paparazzi agent. It was the biggest paparazzi agency for a very, very long time, and then he sold it. But we talked all about his relationship with the Kardashians and how him and Kim used to text almost every day, setting up photo shoots. She would call him and say, okay, I'm going to be here and here. They would take the photos. She would call him up and wanting the like, okay, how much did we make off of it? This is what my cut should be. Like, mastermind behind it. And I never knock a single person for doing setup photos. I think that there is a symbiotic relationship between the paparazzi and celebrities, keeping them relevant in between movies or their TV shows or whatever. So I don't knock it. I just liked seeing this like behind the curtains look at Kim, the mastermind of, hey, let me work with the paparazzi, set it up, Photoshop it, make it look good, put it out there, and then what's my cut out of it?
I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, everyone makes money, right? The paparazzi makes money, Kim makes money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of it. I listen, my audience is used to, I mean, I think I agree with it. I think I think the whole Kardashian family is just brilliant. I mean, say what you want.
Yeah.
It's how many years now? I mean, is that really what you attribute it to, or do you attribute it to something like, I mean, listen, they're the most famous family that's really ever existed, ever, other than maybe the first family, right? Like, I mean, so
The Royals.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like the Royals, like, so they gotta all be doing something right. I
Well,
mean,
I think that what has really worked for them, it's not focused on one person. Like, yes,
yeah,
Kim brought, the world's attention onto them, but then to have one of the most famous models in the world or most successful models in the world in the family. Oh, she's dating Bad Bunny. Okay, then you've got, all of them have their storylines, which if one of them's in the news, it keeps them all in the news. So you don't always need one person to keep you relevant. You've got all of them to keep you relevant. And I mean, the storylines that have come out of that family, like, I mean, 10, 15 years ago, did you think we'd be talking about Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner? Like, that storyline right there was a whole season, 2 seasons worth,
totally. Do you think there is nothing bigger now? Like, as far as like, I mean, the other day I was like, I mean, of course it was right near Craig's, but all of a sudden people are charging down the street and I'm like, Jesus, I'm gonna get trampled. And it was a bunch of paparazzi. And of course, I'm like, it is Kendall Jenner getting into the car. She was
Mhm.
alone, or she had one of her people, but I'm like, is it like an interview, a soundbite? I mean, really, I think the Kardashians these days, that's it. Like they can say hello and it's a headline.
Well, if you think about it, they never talk to the paparazzi. The paparazzi follow them everywhere they go, take all the photos. They don't ever say really anything. Maybe a hi, maybe a wave. But Kim, I mean, ever since we started covering her at TMZ many, many years ago, and we were kind of like the first place to really put that spotlight on her, um, she just waves. But their big thing is fashion and, how do we look good? And well, that was one other conversation that got brought up with Gary Morgan, the guy from Splash, is him saying, yeah, like her photos, each set would be essentially like $100,000 to her because of the fashion that she would line up. So let me put on this Chanel bracelet, and Chanel's going to pay me a ton of money, and this dress from wherever, and she the whole outfit